Hello guys, welcome to the Opinioc. Hope you are doing well. Today we have made this video regarding Jammu and Kashmir Bank Probationary Officer main stage. Why main stage? Because prelims examination was conducted till yesterday. Yesterday at 4:15 p.m. The last shift of the examination was conducted, and all those candidates who have sat in the examination, this examination is such that you will get an idea whether you will be in or out because it will depend on your accuracy. It's not like any other examination in which you have to mark MCQs. For example, you're sitting for the entrance examination of any university, or you're studying, or you're sitting in UPSC examination or JKPSC examination. The key of that thing is not available until the final result comes out. But in this examination, if you have performed 100% with 100% accuracy or 90% accuracy, and you have done in between 55 to 70 questions, you will be definitely sitting in the mains examination. We don't know about the cutoff, we have not analyzed it yet, but for all those aspirants who have done extremely well, we have come up with this video because what we have seen and what we have monitored is that if you Google the same thing, the websites on which there are thousands of views or something like that, there is a lot of traffic generated by different means, whatever means they pursue. They have not analyzed this thing. If you go to this, what we have come up with, this is for all those main as all those candidates who will be sitting in mains and who are sure that they will be sitting in mains. But what is the problem? If you will Google the syllabus of Jammu and Kashmir Probationary Officer mains examination, you will get it in different websites. It will be of 2008. There has not been any change by all those websites or those outlets, humongous, who are humongous in nature, who have lot of traffic there. But today what we are doing the latest means examination syllabus explainer, which is based on the pattern of SBI or IBPS mains, and we are doing a comparative analysis with the main syllabus of 2018. Although it was in 2018, although the notification, sorry, was released in 2018, but the examination was conducted in uh, it was conducted in 2019. So let's do the comparative analysis. Let's start with this thing: official syllabus 2018 syllabus per se. What does it mean per se? It means by itself. This is a courtesy of Jammu and Kashmir Bank website, and it's an official notification of 2018. What you were getting in this, you were getting general and financial awareness, 50 questions and 50 marks. Each question was of 1 mark, and you had 35 minutes. We will be discussing about it in detail, what it is all about and what changes have been made in the recent notification. Then there is a general English syllabus, 40 questions, each question of 1 mark, and maximum marks is 40, and you are getting 35 minutes. Then reasoning ability and computer aptitude, 50 questions of maximum mark of 60, and you are getting 45 minutes. Quantitative aptitude 50. Look at that. This is quantitative aptitude. And in the new notification, what you will see, it will be different. And if you don't analyze it properly, you will be misguided, and there could be a chance that you will be derailed from what you will get in the mains examination there. So let's analyze. We have made this video for your benefit only. uh, in 2000, all those candidates who have sat in the mains examination, they were getting 190 questions, and maximum marks were 200. It was of 2 hours and 40 minutes. Now let's see what are the changes in that reasoning and computer aptitude. This is also taken from the official notice, and we have quoted the source here. It is a courtesy of Jammu and Kashmir Bank website. We have taken the official notice from that. We have taken the screen grab, on in other words, what you call screenshot, and we have pasted the same. There is nothing from our side, but what will come from our side is analyzing these sections, what will come inside of it. Then in reasoning and computer aptitude, you have 45 questions and you have 60 marks. There were 35. Now see how much pattern has changed. In general economy and banking awareness, there were 50 questions. Now you have only 40 questions and 40 marks, and the section is of 35 minutes. English language, you have 35 questions and 40 marks, which by default means that for this section the difficulty level will be raised, will get raised. If you are getting 35 questions in 40 or 40 marks, definitely there will be difficulty level will get increased. It is of 40 minutes. Then data analysis and interpretation in last section or in previous notification that was of 2018, what we saw, it was only quantitative aptitude. Now it is data analysis and interpretation, which means there is a lot of change in the syllabus and you need to mind it. You need to keep in mind all those aspirants who are preparing for the mains, they have to look for the syllabus. There is no miscellaneous topic. There is this thing, data analysis and interpretation. It's same as that which is asked by SBIPO. It's on the lines of SBIPO, on the lines of, I am writing it here, SBIPO and IBPS PO. This, the paper was of 2 minutes and 40 marks. Now the number of questions are 155, maximum marks are 200, and the length of the examination is 3 hours, which by itself makes, by default, you are getting 155 questions for 3 hours, which by default means that the difficulty level of the paper has increased in this time. So then another thing you have to look at, which was not in 2019 2018 notification, the mains 2018, which 2019 mains, you, all those who don't know this, you have this descriptive section. It is with the name English language, letter writing, and essay. There are two questions. Each question is of 25 marks, and you will be getting 30 minutes for it. Now, see how much pattern has changed. If you do the same analysis with 2018, how much different this is. Quantitative aptitude, there is a difference of time. There was 22 hours and 40 minutes. Number of marks were around 190. Now you have maximum marks of 200, then 50 of this descriptive thing. So you need to look for this. All those outlets, they are not covering it. We are covering it just for you, all the aspirants, all the candidates who are sure they are going to write the mains. If you are not checking this notification and you are preparing online with previous notification, you will lose a lot by this. So let's start with the English section. We will do the, as I have already said, we will do the Opinioc will do the detailed analysis of each section. What will be there? All those candidates who have sat in the preliminary examination must be knowing there will be a reading comprehension. But this time, the reading comprehension, the length of the comprehension will be little bit, it will be little bit of lengthy, and the questions will not be directly as was seen in the preliminary examination. Then vocabulary, you must be knowing what is the synonym, antonym, these things might be asked. Then sentence improvement, same as was seen in the prelims, no change here for the mains. Parajambles, you can expect those parajambles. There are 5 sentences broken and sentences are not logically arranged. You have to form the paragraph and to put it accordingly which one will be the first sentence. Then word association, you will be given a sentence and then there will be bold words in that. Those words which by default are given, they might not logically form the sentence. You have to interchange them. And word association, which means associate this words with another word and make it logically and sequentially correct. And then there is closed test or fill in the blanks. This is the same thing, or this is the different name of this, fill in the blanks. There will be a blank given in closed test. There might be a bold blank given. There might be a blank given, and on the right hand side you might be given a bold word to it, and you might be asked to suggest the improvement then using this word or using uh, a word that is synonym of this thing. Then in grammar, you already know what will be asked in the grammar. It will be either to spot for an error, either to make the grammatically sentence correct, or you can expect a question on making, or you can expect the question or you can expect a question in which a bold part of the sentence you might be asked to be changed and to make the sentences grammatically correct. So here nothing new. Reading comprehension, it might be lengthy. As we are seeing, the time has increased, the marks for this section has increased. so will be the length of this section, length of reading comprehension, sorry, or these things, it will be little bit of lengthy. Now let's move to the another section, reasoning. Reasoning section, what you can expect. Reasoning section, in this section we have not taken computer aptitude as is written in the syllabus. We will in detail analyze that in next slide, most probably in the next slide. So let's see what is here. Linear seating arrangement. This time you won't expect to get one variable puzzle as was seen in the preliminary examination. You will either get two variable puzzle or three variable puzzle. You are getting a lot ample amount of time in the reasoning section to solve each one of them. Puzzle will be of easy level or moderate level, but you have to look for the variables. Variables either will be one or two or three. For example, you are given that you are given there are 8 floors in a building, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. A is a general manager of company and he is residing on the fifth floor of the building. His place of origin is Chennai. The same example I have given in the previous video which I have made. Same example I am giving here. You are given the person A, his place of origin which is Chennai, his position which is general manager, and the floor on which he resides. Then there will be another person given. You have to logically arrange them. Then directions and circular seating arrangements, what you can expect in this, there will be given there will be a circular seating arrangement given. 8 people will be sitting in this arrangement. Two of either there won't be one variable. If there is A given, A is sitting second to the right of the person who is having date of birth, for example date of birth in on 20th of April. Like that, you will be given two variables mostly, and he might be liking this person or this person. This is A. The person sitting opposite to A will be liking the color black, for example. And here you are given three variables. You mostly not more than three variables and not less than two variables. In mains, you can't expect a one variable puzzle because you are given a lot of time in it. Then there is directions and distance, same, it will be of same level. uh, there is a chance that they will say that person turned 145 degree. If the person is standing at origin, he turned towards 145 degree towards his left. Then you have to find in which direction. 145 degree, which means north, west. Such questions may be asked. Then order and ranking. What is order and ranking? You know, weight of persons are given. Same thing. Then same as in prelims. No need to explain here. Data sufficiency. What is data sufficiency? Statement one will be given and statement two will be given. Accordingly, you have to analyze one, two. For example, if statement here is given, there is some statement given, and as per se regarding that statement, statement 1 is given and statement 2 is given. For example, A plus B weight, it is given that in reasoning ability that A is greater than B is greater than C. Three persons are given, and you have to conclude whose weight is uh, who has the highest weight. And there will be first statement given and second statement given. In first statement, there will be some sentence given, and if you can make the conclusion as per statement 1, then you can mark the answer that statement 1 is sufficient to answer this question. Then there is analytical and decision making. What is this analytical and decision making? For example, same thing as in data sufficiency, there will be this is also known as, there will be a statement given. Statement will be given, for example, nearly 2000 trees in overly polluted NCR has been indefinitely put on hold by Delhi High Court, such things like that. And then statement 2 will be given, and you have to analyze those statements and see whether they are whether statement 1 and statement 2 they have any relationship with one another or not. For example, if you are given, if you have a car and if car broke at a place near Pathankot or in Srinagar, and then you have to analyze the statement. You are given two options whether you will prefer to go by default or call someone your relative or call mechanic who will tow your car, or call police to tow your car. These questions, like these questions. Then what is critical reasoning? Critical reasoning, here we have to look for, there for example there are 8 floors given in the floor. It is given that on third floor, from third floor there is a lift given, there is a lift given. And then we have to analyze this statement: after third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor, there is a lift for use. If a person who starts from ground floor, whether he can reach to second floor by lift, or whether he can reach to seventh floor by lift, something, some examples like that. Then there is another statement, then there is what you can expect is course of action. What is course of action? A statement is given, and statement 1 is given, statement 2 is given, and you have to see if 1 is the cause of this statement, or 2 is the cause or effect, or vice versa. For example, I will give you an example. After so many loan scams in the past few years, money may rightly think a borrower can get away from defaulting on crores of rupees. This is statement 1. Then statement 2, many of public sector banks are developing their portal and mobile application security for controlling the digital theft. Is the statement 1 effect, statement 2 effect, or statement 1 is effect, statement 2 is its cause, statement 1 is cause, and statement 2 is its effect, and you have to see this. Then there is this thing, coding and decoding. What is coding and decoding? There will be an input given, for example some number series will be given, or alphabetical, for example 72, 57, 17, 83. Then you have to look in step 1 the machine which has been used, which may be an enigma or a Turing machine or any computational machine. We don't have to go into that, we have to just look at input and then see what the person is doing into the step 1. So what the question is doing in the step 1. Then in step 2 you have to find the pattern, and there will be a question given, there will be another input given, in which you have to look for the same pattern which you find in the, you will be input given. Then step 1 given, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Step 5, the input was given as this. In step 1 this thing is happening, 5 is replacing 7 here, and 7 is going here. You have to find this pattern. And in step 2 there will be some another pattern. This machine is, the algorithm of the machine is set such that it is doing its operations in a particular specific way. You have to look at that, and then there will be another input given, and you have to accordingly uh, give the answer. For example, there will be a question: what is the average of second, third, and fifth element from the left end in step 3? You have to give the answer to the input which is provided to you. You have to compute as per the sequence which is given to you, and you have to answer it. Then order and tracking, sorry, this has been mentioned twice. Then this is input and output, sorry, said it before, it is for coding and decoding. What is coding and decoding? Simply as was seen in some shifts in preliminary examination, some word is given, it is given in Chinese alphabetical order, and this and to it coherently there will be some statement. For example, sa ki na, it is equal to flowers are red, and then there is another statement given, and then you have to accordingly arrange them, and then you have to make them logically and sequentially. Then let's move to the another section. This section, computer and reasoning. Reasoning and computer aptitude. This is same. You can't expect more than 2 or 3 questions in this, but we can't take any risk in this. In computer reasoning and computer aptitude is the name of the section, but we have segregated it from reasoning. We have given you detailed analysis of the reasoning syllabus, and now we are moving towards computer. We are giving you towards computer aptitude, what might be asked in the computer aptitude. You can't expect more than 5 questions. There might be something related to internet, for example internet, how, what is ethernet, what is LAN, something like that. You can expect question on keyboard shortcuts. What is a keyboard shortcut? For example, if you have to cut something, control plus C is for copying, control plus V is for uh, control plus C, control plus V is for cut, and Sorry, I'm repeating myself. Control plus C is for what? Copying something. If you have selected some text and you are pressing Control plus C, you will be copying that text. And Control plus V will directly paste without using your mouse, using these keyboard shortcuts. What you can expect on computer abbreviations. For example, what is HTML? Hypertext Markup Language. What is www? What is triple W? World Wide Web. Something like these on Microsoft Office. What can you can expect? You can expect what are different toolbars, what are different fonts, some how can what are different shortcuts on computer hardware. What you can expect? What are periphery devices? What is an input device? What is an output device? Some questions like that. On computer software, you can get a question regarding antivirus on anything like that. On computer fundamentals and terminology, for example, what does CPU stand for? Central processing unit. Questions like these. On operating system, for example, what is Linux? Linux is an operating system. Is it or if it will be of high level, then it might be asked, is it an open source operating system or closed source? Then on memory, there are two types of memories: primary memory, secondary memory. Which is primary memory, which is secondary memory? Something this this completes our reasoning and computer aptitude. Let's move to another section. What is this section? General economy and banking awareness. Already provided to you how many marks you have in this section. This section, you can, if you get accuracy, this section is a determining, or in other words, in mathematical, this is a determinant. What these this section is of 50 marks. If you get all 50 questions right, or around 45 questions right, you can go through the mains, because there isn't any, because there you might expect a cutoff of 17. SBA, you get 70 or 80 cutoff in prelims. Now what we can expect here, you have to look for the current affairs of at least last 3 months. What does that mean? Which current affairs? There are different current affairs available in the market. You have to look for those current affairs. For example, who was appointed recently as governor of as chairman of or MD of SBI. You have to look for these things. Who was in the news? Who has won the? For example, I will give you an example. Who has won the Nobel Prize for physics or for literature? You have to look for these questions, because Nobel Prize was in news recently. It was in news. Or which moon mission was sent recently by China? What was the name? Sorry, let me change this question. What was the name of the mission or spacecraft which was sent by China to explore the rocks or to explore the lunar surface? It was Chang'e 5. You have to look for it. Landed it. It had a successful landing. You have to look for these things, and then you have to look for taglines of different banks. These things you have to look. Then in general knowledge, who is the governor of RBI? These things you have to look. Who for general knowledge purpose, you might be also getting a question regarding to state, in which state you are getting the highest FDI investment. Some questions like these. Then static awareness. What is static awareness? Simple question on general economy and banking. Static awareness, you might be getting a question about Banking Regulation Act of 1949. What if what for, sorry, let me change. You might be getting a question of Banking Regulation of 1949. Questions like these. Or what is the period of NPA? If an asset is known as non-performing asset, what is the minimum period for which it might default to get this status of non-performing asset? These questions like that. Then financial awareness, simple questions. For example, I remember in mains 2019 there was a simple question in FDI. What does D stand for in FDI? Foreign direct investment. Questions like these. Financial awareness, you have to look for this thing, and this is easy, doable, and scoreable. But it is also a determining section. You have to look into this section. In financial awareness, you might get a question regarding who regulates the capital market in India. SEBI is the regulator of capital market in India. What is negotiables? What are Basel Accords? You might get, I am saying the word might, but you must have an awareness about these things. So let's conclude this section, move to the another section. Here in this section, data interpretation and analysis, you have to be very look at this thing. In 2018, it was quantitative aptitude. The name given in the PO examination syllabus is quantitative aptitude. If you look at the same thing in 2020, it's different, and it is on the lines of the examination of SBI PO and IBPS PO. Data interpretation and analysis. What you can expect? Pie chart. What is a pie chart? You will be given a circle, and then there will be sector angles given. For example, a has is having a sector angle of 30-degree, and accordingly, for example, you will get a question how much percentage of the whole 360-degree of the circle it is. You have to analyze it and you have to compute accordingly. You will get questions and you have to answer this. Data interpretation and analysis syllabus. Not, you are not getting quantitative aptitude, and you have to be very precise regarding this. You have to look for the bar graph. As was seen yesterday, there was a bar graph given. There were correct number of questions and incorrect number of questions, and then you have to formulate it. The level here will be a little bit, questions will not be calculative as it's of mains level and you are getting ample time. There will be some twist in those. Then radar graph caslet. What is a radar graph caslet? You might get a pyramid, and you have to read that pyramid, which means a triangle like this structure, and then another this. Here it will be given some value a, variable a will be given, b, variable b will be given, or variable c will be given. Then you have to look, determine, you have to know how to read this graph, radar graph. Then simply a line graph, as was seen in the preliminary examination. There might be a variable here, it might be regarding time and distance. The values here won't be direct, as was seen in the preliminary examination. You will have to compute them. You might get a twist, you might get questions where you will have to use the formula of different things. Then missing case di, you know, it is, there will be some table given, and there will be values of a given, then b given, c given, and here this portion, here the value will be given, here the value will be given, this portion will be missing. You have to compute it. It's known as missing case di. Then you can expect this data sufficiency. We have taken this from SBI PO or IBPS PO. What comprises in data interpretation and analysis? You can get a data sufficiency question. What is it all about? You might get two statements and one statement will be given. To compute the value of that statement, and two statement will be given. You have to analyze and you have to compute, and which among these two statements will be utilized to get this question, the answer, to get the answer of this, to get the solution of this question. A statement, then answer will be given. Either statement a is sufficient, either b is sufficient, c is sufficient, d is sorry, either statement 1 is sufficient, either statement 2 is sufficient, either statement 1 is sufficient and 2 is not sufficient, or both are not sufficient, something like that. Then in probability, you know, probability, some questions might come. All these are miscellaneous topics, and you might expect a question from permutation and combination. So here, what, there is a abrupt change as was seen in 2019. There was a quadratic sorry, there was quantitative aptitude section. Here, there, this is a different data interpretation and analysis section. You have to look for this and work on it, and don't expect the cut of this section won't be more than 10 marks. This section is time consuming, it requires a lot of practice, and it needs a lot of ability to do the questions. Even if you are getting this much of time, you can't expect more than 10. 10 is also a large number. Around 7 or 5, you sorry, around 7 or 8 you might expect the cutoff of this section. So your strategy should be to increase your English skills, in which you can get the marks. uh, the level of that section will be different from preliminary examination. You have to look for the current affairs, banking and general awareness section. 50 questions you are getting in that. and you have to accordingly frame your strategy. You have to look for the current affairs of at least 3 months. You have to look into the terminology of different things, banking terminology, what's an ombudsman, terminologies like these. Then you have to look then you have to look at reasoning and computer ability, practice as much as possible data interpretation and analysis. Don't rely on this section. This section will consume a lot of time to you. And we by talking with the professionals who are into this field, by having experience, will suggest that don't don't put so much of time into this section. It will be better to put time on those three sections. Then what we are getting a descriptive test. It will be of an essay and it will be of letter. It will be for the first time, but it is already seen in the examinations like IBPS and SBIPO. So this is our comparative analysis, and we would like to inform. This is our comparative analysis, and we would like to inform, seeing the response on this video. If we get a good response on this video, we will also start the initiative for banking associate, which is coming in some days, or we might come up with different videos regarding how to prepare for the mains, and tips and tricks for all those candidates who did well. And for those candidates out there who couldn't perform well in the preliminary examination, this is not the end of the world. We will suggest you the Opinioc team will suggest you, this is not the end of the world. This is just an examination. It does not determine anything. Although this is just a race, competitive race, there are ample of opportunities out there, and depending upon the socio and economic factors, or the uh, place to which you belong, it depends on those factors whether you are dead to go into the government job, or you can be an entrepreneur. It depends on you, these things. So romanticization, in other words, we call it romanticization of things. We For those who couldn't do well, there is ample of exams coming, there are ample of opportunity coming. SBIPO is coming. Then you have BA. Hope you would have liked this our initiative, and our comparative analysis and our detailed analysis. Goodbye. Have a good luck with your preparation. See you soon. Take care. Bye bye.